Hey everyone, this is David Brown with the migration update for May 5th, 2024 from the Braddock Bay Hawk Watch. Kim and I started out the day around 6 a.m. at the Braddock Bay West Spit, and it was a somewhat rainy morning and the winds were supposed to be out of the south, but really they were more out of the east and a bit chilly. We had a nice list of 56 species, but nothing new or rare. Next, we headed over to the Charlotte Pier where it really started to rain. The highlight was 4 Forster's terns. This bigger tern on the left is a Caspian tern, but the other ones are Forster's terns. And to differentiate Forster's tern from common tern, we're looking for white primaries, long tails that project past the wingtips, larger bills, slightly taller legs. The bills and legs are a little more orange rather than a dark red, and also Forster's terns are white underneath rather than gray. From the pier, we had a total of 20 species. After a quick break for some breakfast paninis, Kim and I walked the Lakeview Church Trail. We had a total of 35 species, including our first of season willow flycatcher. It was starting to clear up a little bit, so we went over to the Hawk Watch, got started around 11:30. There was a little bit of a break in the lower clouds and even a little bit of sunshine, but then the lower clouds rolled back in. Overall, the winds were out of the south and moderately strong, shifting more southwest and weakening later in the afternoon, but we had a couple good hours of raptor migration before it slowed down. Here's a great blue heron. It was flying up high, but decided he wanted to land in the marsh, and he just started kind of flopping out of the sky. And this photo makes it look like he's diving headfirst off the diving board. Here we have a raptor with a long tail, long thin wings held up into a V called a dihedral, and an owl-like facial disc. This is a northern harrier. And we see that the harrier is almost completely unmarked underneath and in the patagial area, so this one is a juvenile. Here we have a large buteo. We see a belly band and can make out faint patagial bars. And the wings are fairly pale. We don't see a dark trailing edge to the wing, and the tail is hard to judge, but this is a juvenile red-tailed hawk. Here we have a smaller buteo with more pointed wingtips, and we see a dark tail with a wide white band near the tip, and a lot of brown barring underneath. This is an adult broad-winged hawk. Here we have a small raptor with a long tail and rounded wingtips, so we should be thinking accipiter. We see that the tail is very squared off because all of the tail feathers are the same length. This is a sharp-shinned hawk, and we see the vertical brown streaking on the breast, indicating that it is a juvenile sharp-shinned hawk. Here we have a small songbird that's yellow underneath with a sort of orangish bill. This is an American goldfinch, and we've been seeing a lot of these migrating in flocks the past few days. Here's a bird that's a little bit long looking. It's dark on top and white underneath with a thick black bill and a white tip to the tail. This is an eastern kingbird. And I really love the shape of the outermost primary feathers. I'm sure that serves some sort of function that we could look up. Here we have some aerial insectivores. We see very long pointed wings and just an overall gray color and very small bill. These are chimney swifts. Here we have sparrows that have a lot of gray to the face and upper breast and distinctive black and white stripes on the head. These are white-crowned sparrows, and Kim counted a total of 33 of them feeding down on the path, which is the most I can ever remember seeing at one time. Also feeding down on the ground, we see some birds that are overall black with some yellow to the back of the head and some white highlights. These are bobolinks. From the Hawk Watch today, we had 60 species. I've been feeling a bit tired today just from all the long days and early mornings, so at 4 o'clock, the Hawk Watch had slowed down, and we had just gotten in the car to leave, to head home, so I could finish everything and get some rest, when the rare bird alert came out that there was a prairie warbler over at the West Spit. So Kim and I went over there, and we ended up going into Manitou Beach Preserve, which is adjacent to the West Spit, and we were able to hear the prairie warbler, although we never did actually see it. However, we did have nice looks at our first of season Cape May warbler. Altogether today, I had a total of 90 species. I had 4 new species for the season today, which were willow flycatcher, Cape May warbler, prairie warbler, and ruby-throated hummingbird. Taking a look at the hawk count report for our migrant raptor totals, today we had 55 turkey vultures, 3 ospreys, 12 bald eagles, 19 northern harriers, 58 sharp-shinned hawks, 45 broad-winged hawks, 12 red-tailed hawks, 1 golden eagle, for a total of 205 migrating raptors. That brings the May total to 4,891 and the season total to 57,494. Taking a look at the forecast for tomorrow, they're calling for intervals of clouds and sun in the morning and then more clouds for the afternoon. Warm temperatures around 60, winds northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour, so I would expect light to moderate migration. For Tuesday, plentiful sunshine with a high of 59, winds northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour, less favorable winds, and we might have to conduct the count from Frisbee Hill. Would expect light, maybe moderate migration. And for Wednesday, we're looking at rain showers early with some sun later, thunder possible, high around 60, and winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Would only expect light migration. All right, well, another really fun day of birding. We had high hopes today with the southerly winds and rain that maybe some good rarities would get knocked down, and we didn't end up with anything too crazy, but we had some nice birds. Nice getting to see all those Forster's terns, and especially being able to compare them with common terns and Caspian terns. And that prairie warbler that we picked up at the end of the day was a new Monroe County bird for me, so that was a lot of fun too. Hope to see you out soon at the Braddock Bay Hawk Watch. From Lyco Birds, this is David Brown. Thanks for watching.